Hey everybody, welcome back to Durbins Bourbon. I'm Joe.
And I'm Josh.
We're doing a review of 8 Feathers Distillery out of southern Idaho. We're going to give a shout out to you, Dan. Thanks for bringing us this bottle so we could try it. I know I talked to you and you said, and I quote, "This is not tasty stuff."
I was not impressed.
It was not. You are not impressed with the quality and flavor of this whiskey.
Oh God!
It is a grain to glass whiskey, which is kind of the thing. All the local distillers nationwide are all doing grain to glass. You know, try and buy local, and I applaud that. That's a cool thing.
Yeah.
Grain to glass. I mean,
Aren't they all kind of grain to glass though?
yeah,
I mean,
try to buy local source
barrel to
products and stuff like that. So here it is, 8 Feathers Real Idaho Bourbon Small Batch Whiskey. 750 milliliter, 80 proof, 40% ABV. So we're going to give this a whirl.
I'm gonna guess it's a very young whiskey.
Probably, because you figure 8 Feathers hasn't been around for a long time, I don't think. A lot of your craft distillers, you know, they're coming up, and you figure if they're not buying sourced whiskey, if this is truly their product, grain to glass, and say they've been in business for 5 years, 6 years, by the time you get a production bourbon and you put it in the barrel and you age it for a few years, and you bottle it, you're only going to be a couple years old, so... It does.
Smells really new.
It does have a very young.
Yeah, not new young. That's what I meant.
Very young smell. It's light in character. These are new Glencairn glasses that haven't been washed, so I just
It almost smells like a white dog, like it hasn't even been aged.
It does a little bit of that. I picked up
Just a lot of grain. Not a whole lot of barrel, vanilla, none of that I'm picking up.
It's very leggy, and they were fast. So, like your leg on yours are already down for the most part. So I don't anticipate it's going to be really oily, which means it's probably not going to linger on the palate very long. I got a feeling we're going to pick up a lot of the... I got that classic acetone and young whiskey characteristics
For
sure.
All right.
Cheers.
Give her a taste.
That is young.
Yeah. It's not horrible though.
No.
It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
No.
Like I feel like if it had more time in the barrel,
You might get
got a
some more
much
character.
better flavor to it. Doesn't have a
know
whole
what?
lot going on.
I got a little cardboardy, little tails. And
That's what I'm smelling too.
Yeah. And as a distiller, when you're producing your spirit, there is a certain amount of you've got your heads, hearts, and tails. A certain amount of tails that you implement into your spirit gives it some of that depth of character and oiliness, because from your tails is the fusel oils and the characteristics.
You get your characteristic from that.
But it's a really fine line of how much tails do you add,
And
what portion of the tails.
I feel like too, the sitting in the barrel takes a lot of that away. So
does.
if that was like an 8-year-old, it wouldn't have nearly
Right.
that kind of flavor.
I agree
the,
completely.
the cardboardy kind of.
That young characteristic cardboard, acetones, kind of the oily. Boy, when you roll it around on the palate,
It's rough.
it's a rough whiskey. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's young in every characteristic.
And I think, did we check the price point?
We didn't.
Let's see.
So while Josh
I think
is checking,
I want to say it was $35.
was it?
I could be wrong. Hang on a minute.
It's
Hang on a minute. Don't go anywhere.
yeah. Hang out with us. Have a dram of
Something that's not
something.
8 feathers.
Yeah, maybe a little more.
I don't. I mean, I
tasty.
don't want to hate on them or anything.
No.
You know, there's a new distillery probably,
yeah.
and
Good for them.
it's not bad. I just think it needs more time.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. It's not like disgusting, but it's just not.
You can see it's a very light spirit in color. And, like we've said before in previous videos, a whiskey or a bourbon gets, 70% of its color and flavor, 70 to 80, from the barrel. You have your initial grains. More than likely, this is a corn, rye, barley. There's no wheat in here that I can detect.
No, I would.
So, after you get your initial flavor from your white dog and you put it in the barrel, your barrel is going to give it the rest of the characteristics that you're going to pick up. The oak tannins, the caramel, vanillas, and all that.
Yeah, I'm not getting.
No, and it might be...
Hold on. I mean, don't hold on.
Our state does a last chance.
30. It's $31.95. So if it was $15, I think it'd be good. But obviously, like I said, it's a newer distillery. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
They got to make some money.
Right. Yeah. That's true. So it's okay. They're young. It's a young whiskey. You can tell that on the nose and the flavor and the color.
I mean, if I was down there, I'd go like on a distillery tour. I'm sure they're probably nice enough people, but
for sure.
For $31, you can get some pretty darn good bourbon for that. That's aged 8-10 years.
Absolutely. A few years ago, the editor, my wife, bought me a bottle of Dry Fly Distillery out of Spokane, Washington. It was their wheated whiskey, and it was young. They've been around for I think it's about 10 years now or so. It was young. It was grainy. It was really rough. For our anniversary, we went over and we did a distillery tour, and I did a flight.
Your anniversary.
Yeah, my wife and I's anniversary. I looked at him.
Clear that up.
Yeah, let's clear it up. So their products had improved drastically. They've got some bourbons now that are incredible. Their rye is decent. I mean, their wheat whiskey is incredible. They've had that time in the barrel, and that makes all the difference.
For sure.
It makes all the difference in the world. And there's people out there, the new distilleries that are coming on, and the craft distilleries, there's a huge movement trying to put certain components through small barrels, quick aging, electromagnetic
Little
crap and stuff,
wood,
and trying to change that time in a barrel. And I don't know if you can truly do that.
Like, I think technically and scientifically it works.
It might,
but the taste, you could just tell.
Yeah. The seasons and the ins and outs, and
barrel expand or the liquid expanding into the barrel.
Yep, from the pressures and it's just a time thing. Patience. You got to have patience. So give a couple more years, maybe the 8 Feathers bourbon's going to be.
I'd try it again if they had a longer.
Mm-hmm.
It's really not. It's not horrible. But for $30, like I said, you could get.
Yeah.
You can get a Buffalo Trace. Shoot, Jim Beam Black's like 21, and that's really good.
And it's a.
I mean, obviously it's a
whiskey.
huge distillery, so they probably. I mean, I don't know. I hate knocking on smaller distilleries like craft distilling because you need them, and they're going to be making good stuff. And
because they're, it's a big proposition to start up a new distillery. The cost of operations, a new product. Do you source? Do you not source? That's a whole separate subject that we could get into a live video feed or a podcast, which I'm sure they're out there on sourced whiskeys. I know I've listened to some of them. It's a big deal, and it's interesting. It's an interesting topic that you can go on for hours and hours. So, 8 Feathers. What do you think?
I wouldn't recommend it for the price. But if you like craft distillers, give them a shot. You might like it. It's just young. It needs more time in the barrel, I think. It's not like going to make you gag or anything.
No, I did not gag at all.
If you're down in the Boise area, definitely support your local, your distillery, and I'd probably pick up a bottle if I lived there. But
part of following the journey, you
right?
try
You could
out
have
a young bottle that
5 years from now you get
They were not really good,
and they have to.
in the day.
They have to make money,
growing.
So they got to put it out probably earlier than they want to. Even then, they know they're.
You know what your product tastes like when you're testing it and you send your samples in.
If I made this, I'd be like, this is delicious. It's
right. We would be like, this is fantastic. And then really in the back of our mind, we'd be like, we need more time in the barrel. So,
but it isn't. It's definitely not horrible. But I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah. I know, Dan, you're going to be watching. I think you probably wanted to see me gag on this.
I wanted to see him too. That would have been awesome. It didn't work.
No, I agree with you. It needs some time. It needs to improve.
Yeah.
But, I applaud you, 8 Feathers.
Yeah. They're getting there. I'm sure they're got stuff now that's probably better than this one. And
sure.
Hopefully.
It'll be worth doing a distillery tour sometime and checking them out.
Yeah. We just won't tell them about this review.
No. Shout out, Dan. Thank you for the bottle. We appreciate it. It's a good review. It's an okay bourbon. It's definitely not your classic aged Kentucky bourbons that we enjoy so much.
So good.
And like and subscribe. Remember, if you want to get notifications, down in the corner there's a little bell icon. If you hit the bell icon and when you subscribe to the channel, every time we do a new video on Saturdays, it will chime and you'll hear that we have released a new video. So those of you that are out there watching or that follow the channel, you'll automatically know if you do hit that bell subscribe. If not, you'll get your email notifications like you normally do that we release them. But every Saturday we release videos, and we have a good one coming in the near future too. So this Saturday.
This will be out after that. So.
Yep. So this will be.
You have already seen it.
Yes, that's true. So as we typically always say, enjoy your whiskey or bourbons
any way you like.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.